Hi, this is Billie Beene here with a U.S. News Flash Update. Today's date, September 20, 2024, time in Texas, about 10 a.m. Some of my sources are God in the Bible, Patriot Subscriber, AccuWeather, National Hurricane Center, Texas Weather Center, Steve Quayle, AP, David NINO, RODRIQUEZ, Daily Caller, Politico, News Nation, Washington Examiner, DC News Now. Some of the things we'll be covering. 5 sniper teams are after President Trump. Texas, New Mexico feud, and 6 states may not be able to certify their vote. So let's get started. I'm going to begin first with a Patriot Subscriber. I put out in a recent video that the National Organization of Postal Carriers, current and retired, were endorsing KH, and I pointed out this is the same group who handles mail-in ballots. What could go wrong? A Patriot Subscriber who says, I am a postal worker. I stand strongly for Trump. So that's going on, and I'm sure that's true with a lot of other postal workers. Now we'll cover a little bit about weather. The National Hurricane Center is putting 2 systems way out in the Atlantic, both with 20 and 20 chances of development. 20% in the next 48 hours, 20% in the next 7 days. Now, it's being reported in the Gulf of Mexico that something could make up. The National Hurricane Center is not tracking anything in the Gulf of Mexico, and AccuWeather says this disturbed area of weather in the Gulf of Mexico will not make up into a hurricane. What it could do is bring heavy rain from Texas down to Florida next week. So we'll have to keep our eye on it. Now, Texas is predicted to receive a little cold front, a little cool down through next week. In this area, the Panhandle, on Saturday, there could be some severe thunderstorms, possibly with winds up to 70 miles per hour and hail. That's due to a warm front in the east part of the U.S. and a cold front in the west part of the U.S. In between, there's very disturbed weather. So that's going on. Now we have this. Hal Turner reports 5 sniper teams are currently after President Trump. 2 domestic and 3 foreign, from Iran, Ukraine, and Pakistan. So we have this report coming out from Matt Gaetz. He's a House of Representative Republican from Florida. He's been a House representative since 2017, who says that U.S. government high-ranking officials have told Matt Gaetz that there are currently 5 active sniper teams after President Trump right now. 2 domestic, 3 foreign. Now, this 3 foreign, 1 from Iran, this correlates to information coming out from Steve Quayle about 7 days ago, that the Iranian military inside the U.S., led in by the JBKH show, have been given their targets. And my perception was that the Iranian military assassins currently in the U.S., I believe their targets would be individuals with the U.S. government who okay an attack on Iran by either Israel or the U.S. Now it's coming out. These Iranian militaries have a sniper team that's also after President Trump. So we need to be in prayer for President Trump. That's going on. And this information that came from Matt Gantz, source was also Homeland Security. And you know, Homeland Security, Alejandro Mayorkas, who has been orchestrating letting in millions of illegals during the JBKH show, also supervises the Secret Service. So can we see something going on? Yes, I think we can put those pieces together. Daily Caller comes out with this, a poll: U.S. citizens support the mass deportation of illegals. And it was 54% of the individuals polled support deportation. And that included 86% Republicans, 58% Independents, and 25% of Dems. So now we have this from Politico. Yes, this has to do with the Teamsters Union. I put that out. They have something like 1.1 or 1.2 million Teamsters. That's the transportation union in the U.S., and they also have participation from Hawaii and Guam. So the Teamsters Union is not going to put out an endorsement for president because they polled the Teamsters and 60% support President Trump, while the deep state, Dem-controlled bosses were going to endorse KH. So the Teamsters Union is not going to come out and make an endorsement. So that's going on. Now we have this. News Nation. Yeah. So there's a feud between Texas and New Mexico because Governor Abbott a few days ago directed the Texas National Guard to put up additional fencing and concertina wire. We would think between Texas and Mexico, but no. This is between Texas and the state of New Mexico. Texas has done a great job in blocking illegals coming in from Mexico. But what they were doing, they would skirt Texas, going to New Mexico, and then come into Texas. So Governor Abbott ordered additional fencing and wiring. And this is in the area of El Paso, Texas, of the Rio Grande River. Right. And Tuesday, soldiers, the Texas National Guard, put up additional wire and fencing on the riverbank between the state of Texas and the state of New Mexico. Then the governor, according to DC News now, New Mexico Governor Michelle Grisham, blast Texas Governor Abbott. Take down that wire and fencing. Those illegals that come in New Mexico, we want them to go into Texas. Well, we, the people of Texas, say to New Mexico Governor Michelle Grisham, shut up. We in Texas don't want illegals. So, this area where the Texas is putting up fencing and more wiring, it faces New Mexico and runs west from Pisano Drive to the Texas side of Anapra Bridge. That's between El Paso and Suslin Park. So that's going on. We, the people of Texas, don't want illegals in. Washington Examiner. In Texas, there's been a concerted effort by the cartels and the illegals in the state of Texas to steal oil and gasoline. They go into the oil fields and steal the equipment there that contains a lot of copper to sell the copper. And they are also hijacking gasoline tanker trucks. You know, they would find the truck parked and they would go in there and they siphon out the gas. So that's been documented. So, State of Texas Representative Tony Gonzalez, he's a representative in the House of Representatives, is putting forth a bill to combine law enforcement coordination and money to support the task force made up of local, tribal, state, and federal police to investigate, track, and prosecute oil and gas theft in Texas by the cartels and illegals. And from David NINO Rodriguez and other sources, there may be in November, with regard to the presidential election, there may be 5 to 6 states who cannot certify their vote. I know recently Texas purged 1.1 million voters, and it included illegals, people who had died, people who had moved out of state. But apparently it's been documented now that there are 5 to 6 states who will not, most likely not be able to certify their vote and thus will not be able to participate in the selection of the next president. And things are moving forward in courts during the course of the next 48 hours, and this came out September 18. 5 to 6 states may not be able to certify their vote. And now we have this. AP is reporting Minnesota says they fixed the glitch in their automatic voter registration. And bizarre as it sounds, in Minnesota, when you got a driver's license, you were automatically registered to vote with no requirement to prove that you are an American citizen. Now, Minnesota says they fixed this glitch. They had recently 100,000 driver's license issued, and they did a hand voter registration by voter registration process. And out of 100,000, they found 1,000 who were not citizens. So they have taken them off of their voter roll. Now, with regard to voting in November, 3 states, Minnesota, Virginia, South Dakota, require in-person voting. And now we have this. So I picked up a few things from the Facebook, and this is coming out. They said Noah was crazy. He was talking in a conspiracy, but then the rain came and the fact checkers drowned. And we have that going on. And this also, this observation, the general population doesn't know what is happening and doesn't know that it doesn't know. And now we have this, a Facebook friend, and their pastor said, when the wicked can't be voted out, we, the children of God, can pray them out. The fervent prayer of the righteous prevails much. And a Facebook prayer for President Trump. Lord, strengthen President Trump. Send angels to protect him. Father, ease his cares and give him good rest and wisdom and peace. And we ask, Father, that you cause the enemies of President Trump to stumble and fall into confusion and panic. And we ask, Father, that you give President Trump energy and clarity to maintain his path and fulfill your plan of his path of reckoning within the United States of America. This concludes my flash. I love you, and I'll see you soon.